Now, when I went up there, Washta would escort me from the mattress factory across the hallways toward this part of the ship that we're looking at, which is the main conference center, which was a huge thing, as you can see here, 20-foot-high ceilings, extremely huge. In the middle of it all was this huge table with, as you can see, this bar across it. And what was so interesting about it was simply that these chairs had the ability, when you sat in them, to shape themselves exactly to you. And the other thing that was neat was this bar would produce, when you needed it, these imaginably excellent holographic images. And this thing would float about 6 to 8 feet over the middle of the table. So whenever they were thinking and they wanted to show people something, this image would show up. Now, I would get in one of these chairs, and I would go to this educational wall. And what would happen is you would go and you would just look at it. You just look at the wall. The wall would immediately bring you into homeostasis with it. And when that happened, the brain had been trained to the energies of this device. And you were comfortable. You were in this chair that was unbelievably comfortable. It felt like you were floating in air. And then this holography would begin. It would teach you about everything. So I learned Syrian history, I learned American history, I learned all kinds of histories, I learned philosophy, I learned all kinds of interesting things. And as I went through the sciences, and I began seeing examples of how their science worked, I said to myself, what I really want to do, I didn't really believe in this messenger thing, I wanted to do something about science. I wanted to take this science and I wanted to make it better, because our science has a lot of things in it that are no good as far as I was concerned, and physicists are discovering that now. They're discovering that to create the new technologies that we are now about to occur, they had to basically break the laws of physics, because the basis of science is about consciousness. Cosmic consciousness, the consciousness of the reality that we live in, from this dimension on up. And so I would sit there. There would be rapid eye pulses coming at you from the wall. This homeostasis would be moving in. This information would be done. And what would seem to you like next to no time, because you would blank out and it would not feel like you would spend a lot of time there. Yet you would spend hours. And when you woke up, everything that had been done in terms of teaching you was totally remembered. Every little detail, every little detail. I looked at all of that and I said to myself, wow, I have been a part of history. I was like the proverbial fly on the wall. And so for years I'd come up and I would get these lessons. And when I finished with these lessons, I would talk to Washta. So I remained in contact with the Syrians over the next 30 years of my